Jack, the other important thing in any such website, specifically content websites, is the content strategy. And I was going through these websites, and the way you have strategized the content is really amazing, right? You've gone into the niche and taken care of all those elements. Tell us more about content strategy. How do you plan the content strategy of your website once you acquire it? If you could take the example of roasty coffee, nothing like it, but yeah, any other example is also fine.
Sure. A couple of big ones. I feel like one that's, I'll mention it, but I feel like a lot of people have dug pretty far into this, which is like competitor research. So, taking your SEO tool of choice. I usually use Ahrefs, but you could do the same with SEMrush and probably others. And just figuring out who are the big guys in the space. And so when I'm acquiring a site, that's the first thing I look for. So let's just say that I'm getting into a niche about, knitting and sewing or something like that. What I want to look for is who are the big sites there, right? So I look at some of the more competitive keywords. I see who's ranking, how many keywords overall are they ranking for in these tools. And then I dig through there and kind of see like what's missing. Okay. So I know even though those estimates aren't perfect, I can see that site gets approximately 10 times the amount of traffic that this new site that I just bought does. So I kind of know where the ceiling is. And so I dig into that as step one to see, all right, what big topics, what questions have they answered, what content have they covered that we have not? And that kind of becomes step one, because you see a site in a very similar topic that's just further along than we are. And we could just say, okay, what have they done that we haven't? How can we do that better? And so that's, I feel like, a pretty simple, repeatable way. And you can always, you come look at that 6 months from now and you're going to see new sites that have popped up since then. You're going to get new ideas. And so I feel like that's one of those things that you can just do constantly over years and pretty much never run out of ideas. Another strategy that I've started doing over the last year or two, really trying to focus more on like informational content, especially with, Google had put out a couple updates about like product review updates and things like that. And so certain sites I had that I had one site that got hit by that, actually, a smaller site, but it was almost all product reviews. So just trying to like make sure that my sites are balanced in terms of not too many reviews and, balancing that out with informational content. So one way that I would do is I've got a list of just like 20 or so question starters, who, what, where, when, can, are, so on and so forth. And so I'll take a big topic. If it were coffee, maybe it's espresso machines or Keurig, like a brand name. I'll plug that into the Keyword Explorer. And of course, it's going to pull up, millions of keywords. And then I do the includes, and then I put in those 20 question starters and filter it down by that. And then if needed, I can filter, if there's still just tens of thousands of words, I can then filter down even further by like keyword volume or something like that. But from there, I kind of like, it gets a little complicated, but at a high level, I use a tool called Keyword Chef. And there may be other ways to do this, but basically what I do is I'll pull that list that I come up with. So let's just say that I end up with 2,000 question related words about a Keurig, right? And I plug those into Keyword Chef, and they have kind of a bulk SERP analyzer. So it'll pull all the SERP results for all 2,000 of those keywords and then kind of gives them a similarity score. And so what I'm doing in that process is just because a lot of those questions are going to be kind of the same thing, right? Like, how do I clean a Keurig? And then how do I clean my Keurig? Keurig cleaning ideas, right? Things like that, which are like, they're different phrases, but it's really bringing up the same results in Google. It's the same topic. And so I use that process to kind of like figure out what's actually unique versus what, these 8 things, this is really just one topic. This is one article, so we're not creating articles that are too similar. And so, that's kind of what I do for informational keywords, and feel like I find a lot of good ideas by doing that.